Now, the tempting mistake is one that I call double transduction. I want to just give it a name, make it vivid to you so you know when you're making it, don't make it. What's transduction? Well, it's really translation from one medium to another. So a microphone is a transducer. It takes acoustic waves and transduces them into an electrical signal. A photocell is a transducer. It takes photons or light waves in and transduces it into what? It could be a sound, it could be an electrical signal. The rods and cones on your retina are transducers. They take light in and they give spike trains out. Spike trains are those little activities in the nerve cells. So we just had that lovely animation with the sort of spike trains moving along on the axons in the nerve cells. So that's what transduction is. Now, here's what I'm saying. When you look out at the world, photons, sounds, they come streaming in and they're transduced into spike trains in your brain. There is no second transduction. It's spike trains all the way through until you talk about it, you remember it, you do things about it, it's spike trains all the way. There's no medium inside the brain where things get transduced back into sight and sound. There's no little band to strike up to play the music again. Hello. Cartesian dualism clearly has a double transduction, and notice it also has a third transduction. Once the brain once the mind in its immaterial wisdom has decided to point, then it has to get its decision transduced back into the land of material activity, and that's a miracle waiting to happen. If there were a second transduction in your brain, there would have to be a third transduction, so that you could act on what you were just conscious of. So the trick is to eliminate the middle ghost. The middle Cartesian ghost, the middle special privileged medium in the brain, which doesn't exist. In other words, you want to eliminate you might call it the medium. The medium being where each of us represents our world to ourselves in that special inner theater. That's just a bad idea. All the work has to be done, and it's done somehow. We're just making progress on it every year with neural spike trains, all the way in and all the way out to the muscle contractions and actions. What lies in the middle is not a pearl of immaterial, immortal soul. It's what we might call a virtual self. It's a self made of information. It's a data structure which can handle information. I've called it the center of narrative gravity, which is a useful term because you know the center of gravity of an object, the center of gravity of this object here is fairly high. I could easily tip this over. It's a point. It's not physically arbitrary, but it's not an atom. It's not a thing. It's an abstraction. It's like the equator. It's an abstraction. That yourself is the center of narrative gravity. It's an abstraction. It's, if you like, a user illusion, but a very important one and a very useful one. It's made of information.